Hi students. So last time we started a brand new course in which we have started to introduce the concepts, or we can call it the basic concepts of the computer programming with the perspective of human beings, whatever they used to do in their daily lives. So in computer programming we have discussed some things, and the first terminology there was the algorithms. Okay, and to write the algorithms we have two different steps. The first step is the pseudocode, while the second one is the flowchart. Okay, so in these two ways an algorithm can be represented or written to portray or to illustrate its meaning. Okay, so now let us dive into the details of some other examples. So let us start our example in which a person picks something at random and ask another person that what is this. So if the thing he has picked is an apple, the other person will say yes, or if it is not, he will say no. Okay, so that is basically a problem in which a person basically, here is a person, okay, he will pick something at random and ask the other one, there is another person here, and ask him that what is this. Okay, so he will ask him that whether this is an apple. Okay, so he will say yes if that is an apple, and no if not. Okay, so that is now the problem, and we have to write the statements here. So in writing these statements here, what we have to do, let me start it from here. What we have to do, we have to start it from here, and let me start it. Okay, and in starting it, what is the first step? First person will pick something. Okay, he will pick something. In second step, ask the second person is it apple. Okay, what is the third step? If apple, he will say yes. Okay, if not an apple, okay, what will happen? The other person will say no. Okay, and with this the problem will end. Okay, so now what is this? This is basically our example in which a person asks someone that whether something he has picked is basically an apple or not. So how to do it? So what will we do after doing it? We will basically draw the flowchart for this example. So in drawing the flowchart here, that is now the flowchart for this algorithm. Okay, so what will we do now? Let me start into shape. So now that is the start. He will start first, then okay, after starting it, he will pick something, and in picking something, he will pick something. Okay, and after picking it, what will happen? Let me move down something more. Okay, in picking something, what he will do, he will ask him, okay, so he will ask him whether whatever he has picked is an apple. So there will be two possibilities. The first one will be here, second one will be here. Okay, so these, what are the two possibilities? It can either be an apple or it can be an apple. So if it is an apple, so what will he do? He will say yes. Okay, if it is an apple, he will say yes. Otherwise, if this is not an apple, what will happen? He will say no. Okay, so he will say no, and after it, what will he do? Let me move down. After it will come to an end, and at the end I will write this one. Okay, sorry again the error, because I have ink to space. Okay, oh, again, not again, please. So this is now here, and here it will end, and with the end it will also come here. Okay, so now that is the flow chart which tells me that whether something he has picked, if conditionally is an apple, he will say yes, otherwise he will say this is not an apple. So this diamond shape is basically used for, what is this used for? This is the conditional. Okay, so this is what, this is the conditional block. We can also call it the conditional block. Okay, so that is a conditional block, and wherever there is a condition, so it will pass our statements to one location, while if that thing is not, follow the other path. Okay, so that is the conditional statement. Here we have some other very important concepts, and let me use those concepts here as well. So in order to pick that thing, he should have some baskets here or some pots here. So in order to pick something here, he should have a basket here. Okay, so when he will pick something, the basket here, let me call it X. Okay, so when he will have the X, so let me use, instead of writing pick, let me use X here. X is the basket. So if in the basket he has an apple, so let me call here, this is an apple. So if he has an apple here, so what will happen? Let me write here. So writing here, X equals to an apple. Okay, we can again use all things here. So here let us define these things again. So here this X term is called the data type. Whatever pot or whatever basket we will have here, in order to pick something and keep something, should have something solid, and that thing is called the data type. Similarly, in order to get some liquid, if there is some liquid here and we ask someone that whether this is milk or not. So in order to pick the liquid from here, we cannot use the basket which is used for the fruits. Therefore we will have to use another jar here, and in this jar we will have to store the liquid. Okay, so now here this, let me call it y. So now here we will have two data types, and 2 basically has some different types. The first one is the apple, the second one is the milk. As the nature of these two is different, because apple is something which is solid while milk is a liquid. Okay, so therefore the data types are used for deploying different things which has different nature in computer programming. So that is a flow chart in which we have used this equal sign here. Similarly, in order to use the equal sign here, what we can do here, in order to remove the equal sign here, we can also use another sign which is basically double equal. Okay, so what is the difference between the double equal and single equal? Why didn't I use the single equal here? Because in computer programming and in manual equations, this X is used for the assignment. This is the assignment operator, while this double equal is used for checking the equality. Okay, so what is the example? Let me have an example for it. So suppose we have a basket here and we have some fruits here. Okay, so in order to put these fruits inside this basket, let me call it B, and these are the fruits. Okay, so in order to keep these inside this basket, what will we do mathematically or in programming? We can write it like this one, and what happens here is that at the whatever is at the right side will be assigned or will be put inside whatever data type we will have at the left hand side. So here these fruits will be put inside this basket. Okay, so that's it. Similarly, if something has been put inside this basket, it is now basically the part of this basket. So suppose we have another fruit here, that is the fruits underscore 2. So in order to see that whether the type of these fruits are equal or not, we can use here the fruits equal to fruits underscore 2. Okay, so now what we have done here, we have basically we have to see that whether the fruits here is equal to the type of the fruits which are in fruits underscore 2. So this statement will give me two answers, either yes or no. Okay, so that's why this is called the equality check operator, while this one here is the assignment operator. Okay, so in computer programming and in computer language, most of the times yes is represented with 1 or with true, while no is represented by 0 or false. Okay, so these are basically some important concepts inside the programming, that what happens inside the basic blocks of the programming and where these basic blocks are used. So I think it's enough for today. We have discussed a very simple problem, and in the upcoming lecture we will try to elaborate with some more examples. Till then, take care of yourself and I will see you soon.